Turning to a wrap of your top stories of the day, we start with a breaking news update. CMPD investigating a deadly overnight crash. It happened near the intersection of North Community House Road and Upper Avenue. There's no word yet on what led up to that crash or if anyone is in custody right now.
Concerns continue to grow over the start of the school year for Charlotte-Mecklenburg students when it comes to ICE. Yesterday, a tense meeting inside the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school chambers as parents clashed with district leaders over concerns about immigration and the customs enforcement presence near local campuses. Dozens of parents and advocates filled the room demanding changes to the district's policy on immigration and custom enforcement agents being allowed on school campuses.
In Gaston County, students and teachers are going to be heading back to class this morning, starting in just about 30 minutes at 7:30 and then again at 8:30 for middle and high school students. In all, about 30,000 students going to be headed back, 1,900 teachers. And a reminder, the news does not end here. Coming up at 7 over on WCNC Plus, tensions rising as CMS parents demand answers ahead of the new school year. Plus, we're live here in Gaston County on the first day of school. I'm going to be having a live conversation with the superintendent and also a Charlotte nonprofit helping Latina girls get the start they need inside and outside the classroom.
Thanks so much, Ben. That all starts at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus. We hope that you will join us there. Again, we'll have all of the day's breaking news, weather, and traffic from across the area, including that interview with the superintendent of Gaston County Schools, our Ben Thompson, live there. Join us on WCNC Plus and make it a great day. Good morning. Thanks for joining us at 7 on WCNC Plus. I'm Lisa Washington. You'll notice that Ben Thompson is not on the anchor desk with me this morning. That's because he's out live in Gaston County for the first day of school. Good morning, Ben.
Hey there, Lisa. Yeah, we are live here at Sherwood Elementary School in Gastonia, and you can see here behind me, students actually lining up outside the school, getting ready for what will be their first day of classes. The bell rings around 7:30 this morning here at this and other elementary school. We've got all kinds of good stuff for you coming up over the next 2 hours right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to chat with the superintendent. He's standing about 10 feet away from me. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Also want to wish a happy first day of school for all the students in Caldwell and Lincoln County as well. But first things first, we want to get to that first day of school forecast. Let's go to live pictures right now over uptown, and you may want to send the kids out with an umbrella this morning, maybe a rain jacket, because it's okay right now, but take it from me, it has been less than stellar over the course of the last couple of hours. Let's get over to meteorologist Majestic Storm. And Majestic, the good news is it's not raining on me right now or on these students behind me, more importantly.
And you did have that umbrella there earlier. You had your rain jacket.
Yes.
Ben was ready and prepared, so I think you should plan accordingly if you work outside in the elements or if you are also getting ready to send those kids off to school this morning. We'll still see some scattered rain showers, even isolated downpours this morning. This afternoon, it's going to get hot. Those upper 80-degree temperatures are also going to feel like we're back into the low to mid 90s because it's incredibly muggy outside. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. As we're heading into tomorrow, a better chance for some sunshine, more afternoon thunderstorms, and then this weekend it is getting hot. The return of some sunshine, we'll look forward to that, but our daytime highs will be back into the lower end of the 90s, but because of that uptick in humidity, it's going to feel like we're back into the upper 90s and possibly some triple digits. Here we go, our satellite and radar. We had some strong storms overnight. They may have woken you up, maybe the kids, maybe your dog. The bulk of that system is off to the east of us at this point, out of our viewing area, but we still do have our fair share of some scattered rain showers across parts of our viewing area. Out there towards Monroe, good morning to you. You actually have a heavy downpour heading your direction, may even clip parts of Unionville here. So keep this in mind. It's going to be very sporadic in nature, and that's even how this afternoon will shape up as well. If you're watching from the mountains or the foothills, good morning to you from Lenore out towards Boone, even Jefferson. Very overcast conditions with those scattered rain showers ahead. We are watching for localized flooding still, so you know how it goes. All of a sudden, one of those heavy downpours will develop and we'll see some flooding out there. Today, across the mountains in that area shaded in yellow, you do have a medium level risk for that. Otherwise, Thursday and Friday, those chances will be rather low. This is what our futurecast could look like as we're heading into the afternoon. Notice things kind of gradually clear out. We could even see a little sunshine by the time you're picking up those kids from school, but then watch the mountain locations later on in the evening. We'll see this line try to develop. Now within this is where we could see some flooding. Here's about 6 o'clock tonight, right around dinner time or so. Heavy downpours. That's what we'll be watching. Again, mainly concentrated up towards the mountain locations, but then it kind of breaks apart as it reaches Charlotte. Here's 9 o'clock, but more cloud coverage starts to filter in, and we could still see some scattered rain showers on again, off again. Thursday morning, more cloud coverage out there, and then also seeing more rain potential. This is early in the morning, 5 o'clock. Maybe another good day to send those kids off to the school bus with an umbrella. More sunshine opportunity into the afternoon on Thursday, but heat and humidity oftentimes will act as fuel for those afternoon thunderstorms, and I think that's how tomorrow will play out as well. Here's about 8 o'clock. Could even see some thunderstorm activity later on in the evening around Charlotte for our Thursday forecast. And then those rain chances, they really start to go down just in time for the weekend. You can see it there, hardly any opportunity Saturday and Sunday. And as those rain chances go down, those temperatures will rise. We're going to talk about how hot it's going to get coming up here shortly. But Becca, how are the area roadways going? Any big accidents with all the rain that's already come down?
Got a couple of incidents out there. Really no major issues, especially looking on 77. It's just slow, just packed with traffic. This is normal for this time of day, especially over towards 77. This is West Boulevard just before you hit the John Belk. You can see those wet streets out there. And of course, checking in also on another busy spot this morning. This is in York County, 77 at Gold Hill Road. Now, Gaston County is actually where we're seeing the biggest delays, especially on the interstate of 85 and northbound. We do have reports of some sort of incident on 85 and northbound near Main Street, and you can see that stretch of red indicating stop and go traffic. This will likely add several extra minutes to that morning commute. In addition, still have this crash, Pineville Matthews Road at Carmel Commons Boulevard. You can see a little bit of yellow there indicating some medium impacts.
All right, live right now at 7:05 here on WCNC Plus, and we are live outside Sherwood Elementary School in Gastonia. And here in Gaston County, students and teachers starting to show up here for this first day of school. Joining me now to talk a little bit more about this first day, Superintendent Morgan Houchard. Superintendent, good to see you again.
Good morning.
All right, so so far so good here for the district.
Yes, sir. We are excited to get students back on campus. Teachers have been working all summer, administrative team, as well as faculty, grounds, transportation, and school nutrition. So we are excited about this day.
You told me just off camera a second ago, a lot goes into making sure this day goes off smoothly.
Yes, sir. We actually started the first day at the end of last year to work on our plans, procedures, and protocols and training, and it all builds up, of course, to this day.
We're outside Sherwood Elementary School, and this has been named an innovation school, and this is something new. Explain to me what that means.
So we last year identified 10 of our low-performing schools, and we have phrased them as innovative schools. Last year we started with leadership, and that involved training, high-quality training and development of our leaders to get the right leaders in the right place at these schools. That was year one. We're now in year two, which starts and focuses on the classroom, and it started this summer with training. We've been able to hire high-quality coaches to help develop lesson plans and strategies for this year, so that the real focus is on that teaching and learning that goes on in the classroom every day.
So what are the tangibles that students or parents might notice that are going to be different?
Right, so that focus on the instruction, that focus on the standards and student achievement in the classroom. We are trying to build this. It will be a replicable model that once we are successful in our 10 schools, we can then roll this out to other schools in the district.
Let me ask you the hard question. What barometer, what metric can parents hold you guys to as far as this being a success or not?
Yeah, so I think they will hopefully collaborate with us on the success of their students, of their children and our students, and you will see academic gains and achievement. So one of our metrics is 1 year of school to have at least 1 year of progress academically.
Last I spoke to you was about a week ago over at the new Greer Middle School, not too far away. A big day for the district because that school was, I believe, 70 years old and needed replacement as soon as possible. The result of a 2018 bond referendum. It's a big day over there at Greer as well.
Yes, sir. It is a $52 million project, two-phase project that has ended, and now today we kick it off so that our students get to officially see it and open the building for us. So it's exciting for Greer Middle School and for Gastonia.
And I think what's important, and you told me this last week, was that it has been designed for a rapidly growing Gaston County. You guys built it with the idea that it's going to need to expand.
Yes, sir. It is ready today to house 1,000 students. Very quickly and easily can expand to 1,200 students. So we are trying to build schools with the future in mind. We know there's a lot of development and a lot of folks moving to this area, and we want to be prepared for that when they come.
Yeah. Talk to me about teacher vacancies. The district doing better than it has over the last couple of years.
Yes, sir. For a little perspective, this year we start the year with right at 40 teacher vacancies. For perspective, last year we had 75, and the year before that over 100. So we are seeing that number decline, which is important. We know the value and the importance of having a high-quality teacher in the classroom with students every day. So we're seeing that number dwindle, and we will continue to work until that number is zero.
Something we've talked about a lot over the last week or so, and I talked about it with the superintendent over in Cabarrus County as well, and that's starting school earlier than what the state really would like for you to. Why does it matter to you? Granted, I could also ask that same question of lawmakers, which we have, but why does it matter to you as the leader of this school system that we start today, this Wednesday?
So it helps our students and teachers start and finish a semester before a natural break, and that's Christmas. So think of students come to school, we educate, we take half a year, they're able to test and finish this semester and then go on Christmas vacation and be gone for 2 weeks and not have to come back and worry about taking exams once removed because of the Christmas break.
What do you see as your biggest challenges as the students head back today?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is traffic, as you see it lined up around. Starting school drastically changes the traffic flow and pattern here in Gaston County, as it does in all counties. So just having folks be mindful of that, be safe and secure around our school zones because we know children are coming and going, and have patience. And then the follow-up with that would be if there are issues, we encourage folks to reach out to our schools' administrative leaders and work through those processes.
If there's some students right now rushing to get out the door as they watch this, what's your message to them?
Be safe. We're here. We welcome you. Just come on, but be safe about it.
All right, Dr. Houchard, thank you. Good to see you again. Take care. Best of luck first day of school.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, Lisa, back to you in the studio. As you can see, an exciting day here in Gaston County as about 30,000 students head back to class.
Ben, I've been listening to your interview with the superintendent and also watching those parents as they're dropping off those students. I think the parents' smiles are probably bigger than the students. Just something to notice.
You know that firsthand.
Ready for them to go back. Send them back to
That's
school.
Right.
All right, Ben,
That's right.
thanks so much. Well, we'll keep it right here in WCNC Plus. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more on the meeting at CMS School Board last night. Hear about what happened. .13 now. Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools go back in less than 2 weeks. This morning, we are hearing from families who are concerned about immigration issues as the first day approaches. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning. Now, Richard, we know that meeting last night, it was tense, in fact, even emotional at times.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Lisa. Good morning to you, and good morning everyone watching us on the Plus and out there in Gastonia. First day of school to them as well. Now, we've got 2 weeks before school starts here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg for Charlotte-Mecklenburg school students, but we can tell you that there are some parents who are very concerned about what will happen when those students arrive on campus, especially when it comes to ICE agents. It was a tense night inside the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school meeting as parents clashed with district leaders over concerns about immigration and customs enforcement presence near local campuses. Dozens of parents, students, and advocates filled the room, demanding changes to the district's policy on immigration and customs enforcement agents on school campuses. The district's updated protocols allow ICE agents in public areas such as lobbies, waiting areas, and parking lots. This without prior approval from school officials. Now, the meeting grew heated with multiple tense exchanges, and you actually saw security escorting one woman from the chambers. Nearly a dozen speakers took to the podium. They voiced their fears that the policies could harm immigrant families and erode trust between students and educators. School board leaders stressed that safeguards remain in place, noting that ICE cannot remain on campus without proper legal documentation. Nonetheless, they got an earful from those parents and people who came out last night. Take a listen.
There are protocols that are put in place, and ICE cannot just come and set up on our campuses. What happens is if they don't have a warrant or a subpoena, they must leave our campuses.
Charlotte Mecklenburg schools should not be cooperating with ICE. Schools are meant to be a safe place for students.
You guys have failed hundreds of immigrant children and their families.
ICE does not help students learn. All ICE does is sow distrust between students and adults.
How will our children be traumatized if and when they witness a teacher, a family member, or God forbid, one of their friends being taken from school by ICE?
Of course, school starts in 2 weeks. The district, for its part, another school board member said that CMS is actually doing a better job or as good a job as any other district out there. We're right here in Charlotte. We'll send it back to you.
And you can just imagine the concern among those immigrant families. All right, Richard Devane, thanks so much for that live report. As CMS students get ready to go back to school, the district is launching a new online tool to make sure you're ready for the first day. It is called the Top 10 Things to Know. It's a website dedicated to all the information you need to make sure your family is prepared. Some of those topics include details for online enrollment, transportation, cell phone policies, and school safety. You can find that at cms.k12.org/back to school. We'll keep it right here. We're back in just 2 minutes on WCNC Plus. 7:19 now. You're streaming live on WCNC Plus. We've been talking about the rain here, but take a look at this. This is some new video of the flood damage the people in Tennessee are waking up to this morning. Heavy rain moving through Chattanooga Tuesday. You can see the yards there flooded, cars underwater. That flooding shut down several roads, including a portion of Interstate 24, as emergency crews worked to rescue people from the waters. Many school districts in that area are closed today, of course, because of that flooding. I mean, that really puts it in perspective. Of course, we have seen a lot of rain here, Majestic, but nothing, thankfully, like that. Sending some thoughts to those people there in Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it always is so scary when you see videos of cars fully submerged or people on top of their roofs because the water has just rapidly rise, and that's what we continue to see, I feel like, over and over again each season. And Becca actually worked out in Chattanooga. So how often did this happen, and what was it like?
I never saw any flooding like this, but to put this in perspective, over half a foot of rain fell. That was over 6 inches in a short span of time. And this was actually the second wettest day in history for Chattanooga, Tennessee, for a one-day total. And their actually wettest was over 9 inches of rainfall, and that was associated with a tropical system.
Okay.
So the rainfall that they were seeing, not from a tropical system, but gives you an idea. Not only we're dealing with the wet conditions, but Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tennessee Valley, Georgia, also dealing with that.
Scary.
6 inches of rain in a short amount of time. That's a lot of water. So it takes a while for that to recede or dissipate.
Yeah, and what we're looking at over the next few days are more localized flooding opportunities. So localized meaning that not everyone is going to receive that flooding, and likely a lot of people won't, but where we have those heavy downpours that continue to fall and continue to go over the same places, that's where we could see that, including today, especially for counties shaded in that yellow. That's where that level is at a medium level risk for some flooding. So we'll be watching for that to see if any flooding does actually happen today. And then by Thursday and Friday, that level for flooding as a whole will drop down to a medium or a low end risk for all of us. So over the next few days, still watching for some active weather. You can see it across the Carolinas. Still an active Doppler radar, some scattered rain showers continuing to kind of track to the north and to the east just a bit, but areas shaded in still reds and oranges. That's where the rain's going to be coming down just a bit more intensely. Those overnight storms, they were loud. They had a ton of lightning strikes with them, but as we bring it back into the Charlotte metro area, right now, many of us, we actually aren't seeing any rain that is currently falling, but those roads are still wet. So keep this in mind as you're heading out the door, as it is going to be a little damp out there, and some ponding is still ongoing, especially right here where that rain is currently coming down a bit more intensely. Futurecast as we're heading into the next few hours. Notice as we head into the afternoon, a lot of the heavy rain continues to move out of our area. But with that being said, I think we could see some sunshine at times for some of us. That heat and humidity, you're going to feel it today. It's going to feel like we're back into the 90s, and that could actually act like fuel for these thunderstorms. Here's about 6 o'clock dinner time or so. Notice that they try to create this line. This is out towards Taylorsville, Statesville, Hickory, Lincolnton. They're 6 o'clock, and that's where we could again see very spotty downpours. Once it reaches Charlotte, about 8, 9 o'clock, a lot of it just kind of breaks apart. I'm not saying we won't see any isolated storms later on this evening, but that line breaks apart before it actually gets to us. And then waking up tomorrow for our Thursday, another cloudy start to the day with scattered rain showers first, a little more sunshine as we're heading into Thursday afternoon. Heat and humidity, you're going to feel that again. And then we'll watch for those afternoon thunderstorms that'll even take us into the evening time hours. This is 8 o'clock on our Thursday, even impacting areas like Rock Hill and perhaps Charlotte. Then this weekend, it's going to be much better. We'll see sunny skies, and those rain chances will continue to drop. Current temperatures right now into the 70s for most, but it is very, very muggy. You'll notice them. You'll notice how muggy it is as you're heading out the door. So keep this in mind. High temperatures this afternoon into the upper 80s. All right, Becca, how are the roads this morning? Any big accidents?
Got a couple of problem spots out there. This is one of the slow spots. This is I-77 at Gilead Road, especially looking slow on those southbound lanes. So keep that in mind. Pretty typical for this time of day. No accidents or incidents currently on 77, but still a little bit slow over towards Gaston County. I-85 northbound. We do have reports of that incident on 85 northbound over towards Main Street, and it is stop and go pretty much from there all the way until Mecklenburg County. In addition, over towards the airport, this crash on CPCC Harris Campus Drive at Morrisfield Drive. A little bit of yellow indicating some minor slowdowns. Then we also have a report of an object in the road at the intersection of Archdale Drive at Park Road. Minor slowdowns with that as well. And then this new crash, Hamilton Road at Youngblood Road as well. You may want to watch out for that one. In addition, got the road still blocked. This is on Craig Avenue, impacting both directions between Sacker Lane and Delane Avenue. It's in a residential neighborhood, so might just be an inconvenience and add a couple extra minutes to that morning commute. Lisa.
Rebecca, thank you. As we head to break, this month we are helping clear the shelters by getting pets adopted. Our big event is going to be Saturday, August 23rd at Charlotte Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control. Scan that QR code to get more information. You can also text the word pets to 704-329-3600 to find the adoption locations or make a donation. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to have another update on your weather and traffic. Take it slow out there because it is still still a wet morning. And of course, we'll be back with more of the day's headlines at 7:30.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. We are starting out the day with a lot of cloud coverage out there, scattered rain showers, still watching for isolated downpours. Temperatures right now, if you're getting ready to head out the door, are mainly into the 70s. It is very, very muggy outside, though. So what that will make for is an even hotter day this afternoon. As most of those rain showers start to taper off, temperatures will rise back into the 80s. But because of that added humidity, it's going to feel like we're into the lower end of the 90s. Satellite and radar this morning, you can see all those passing rain showers. We had some overnight thunderstorms. They were loud. Maybe they woke you up or your kids up, maybe your dog. Most of them are off to the east of us, but we're still going to continue to watch for these passing showers for the next several hours across the Charlotte metro area. The roads are wet, but we don't have a lot of rain currently falling. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the mountains and foothills today, because that's where we could see some localized flooding, followed by some afternoon sunshine. Becca.
Still a little bit slow out there, especially on 77. Live look outside over towards Woodlawn Road, especially on those northbound lanes, but it's really over towards Gaston County, 85 northbound, where we have that problem. Stop and go traffic likely 85 northbound due to an incident on Main Street, so keep that in mind. We'll likely add 10 extra minutes to that morning commute. In addition, this incident, Pineville Matthews Road at Carmel Commons Boulevard.
You're streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington. Ben Thompson not on the anchor desk with me this morning. He is out live in Gaston County for the first day of school. But I know you were speaking with the superintendent there earlier this morning. The parents still dropping off the kids. Have you seen a lot of emotional drop-offs?
So far, no emotional drop-offs yet, but the day is still early. The day is still young. But it is happening even as we speak. Here behind me, you can see parents coming up, dropping off kids. It is 7:30. That is when school starts. So it has gotten a lot busier here just in the last few minutes here at Shorewood Elementary School here in Gastonia. One of about 56 schools here in the district that is heading back to class today, in addition to Lincoln County and Caldwell County schools as well. This is what they're calling an innovation school here in Gaston County Schools. We'll have more on that throughout the morning here on WCNC Plus. But before we get to anything else, weather and traffic, what you need to know before you head out the door this morning. Becca Birdsall standing by. She's got a look at the morning commute. More on that in just a second. But first, let's go ahead and begin with Majestic. And she's got a look at the forecast. And fingers crossed, Majestic, right now during drop-off, the weather's nice.
It could be much worse, that's for sure. I mean, we have seen heavy downpours this morning, and thankfully, we're timing this out just about right. A lot of us across the Charlotte metro area are actually getting a bit of a break, but we're not totally out of it. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will be possible this morning and early this afternoon. I think we get a bit of a break late afternoon, early evening, and then another round moving in later on tonight. Tomorrow, more sunshine ahead with those afternoon thunderstorms popping up, and then it's going to be all about the heat and humidity this upcoming weekend. We still have some raindrops out there, a lot of cloud coverage, even some fog that has developed. So keep this in mind. We're also monitoring for isolated flooding. We're going to see that with those spotty downpours. It'll be possible, especially in these counties shaded in yellow here. That's a medium level risk for that. So if you live in a flood prone area, keep that in mind. We could see those heavy downpours continuously go over the same place. And then by Thursday and Friday, the risk for flooding will be low, but it's not zero, and it's just going to be those typical afternoon summertime thunderstorms that we're very used to across the Carolinas. If you are heading out the door this morning, whether you're heading off to work, maybe you want to go get a run or walk in, or you're taking the kids off to school today, temperatures right now are mainly into the 70s, 72 in Hickory as well as Shelby, 74 for everyone in Rock Hill. Good morning to you. Rain gear, possibly you may need it for the first half of the day. I mean, I don't think it's definitely not a complete washout, but we could have a little bit of that mist and drizzle as well. Notice though, those temperatures will start to climb. We'll be back into the 80s. I think this afternoon for a lot of us, we'll have sun breaks here and there, but we will have to watch for those sneaky thunderstorms that could develop late in the afternoon, early in the evening time. Here's our satellite and radar. We do have a ton of cloud coverage and still a lot of moisture continuing to move through the area. The bulk of the system, those loud thunderstorms that may have waken you up last night, are mainly out of here, but we do still have some areas that are currently receiving those heavy downpours. If you're watching from Wadesboro, you have that coming straight your way. That's going to bring very heavy rain that could lead to some localized flooding right there. Also, if you just so happen to be driving, really make sure you're taking it easy across the roads. Once we're looking at the Charlotte area, all the way up from Huntersville, Charlotte, Fort Mill, Lake Wiley, Gastonia, right now, we are dry. At least there's no rain currently falling. And this is going to be the scenario, I think, really over the next few hours. The rain is going to continue to taper off. Again, I do think we could have a little drizzle or mist, and we do have mainly cloudy skies. Into the afternoon, a lot of the clouds seem to be moving out of the area, so a little bit of sunshine potential. But sometimes when we have sunshine, that could create the ability for some of those storms to continue to form, and that's what some of our models are picking up on. So if you have plans tonight, there's about 6 o'clock. We'll start to see some more stormy conditions move through. Across the Charlotte metro area, it seems like a lot of that will break apart and then quiet throughout the overnight hours with more morning rain showers early in the day on Thursday. Becca, how are the roads? Any big accidents right now?
Yeah, looking mainly at one big problem spot, and that is going to be over towards Gaston County. This is a live look from I-85 over towards West Charlotte, just as you get past I-485. A little bit further off to the west, though, towards Gaston County and especially over towards McAdenville. That's where we do have that confirmed crash now. 85 northbound at Main Street, currently blocking one lane of traffic. You can see that stretch of red and heavy delays that continue to form. Best workaround for this would be to take Highway 74, Wilkinson Boulevard to get all around that mess. In addition, still slow moving 77 northbound in South Charlotte, as well as the inner loop of I-45 towards Matthews. Here are all the active crashes across the Charlotte area. I want to get to some of the ones that are the newest ones that have popped up on the board. This one, Hamilton Road at Youngblood. Seeing some oranges there, indicating some slowdowns. Also, a little bit up to the north in South Charlotte. Traffic lights still not working. The intersection of Archdale Drive and Nations Ford Road, treated as a four-way stop. In addition, Craig Road still blocked both directions due to a fallen tree, both directions between Sacker Lane and Delane Avenue.
Becca, thanks. A rally for Ukraine is set to fill the streets of Uptown this evening, fueled by backlash to President Trump's upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning with the growing reaction and what the supporters hope to accomplish. Destiny.
Yeah, this rally is in support of Ukraine's sovereignty, but also Charlotte residents are coming together to support Ukraine's voice on the international stage. And organizers say this is in direct response to comments President Donald Trump has made about Ukraine, and again, ahead of his meeting with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. Now, he plans to meet with Putin on Friday in Alaska, and he suggested Ukraine could have to give up what he called prime territory to Russia as part of a peace deal. That idea has drawn pushback from Ukrainian leaders and allies who say no decisions should be made without Ukraine at the table. This won't be the first time Charlotte has rallied for the cause. Back in early March, hundreds gathered in Romare-Bearden Park after a tense Oval Office meeting between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. That rally drew signs, flags, and chants calling for more support.
Ukraine is not for sale. This is not part of the deal. We need our freedom, and we're asking people to help us fight for that freedom.
Now, this rally is happening at the same place at 6:30 tonight, and organizers want folks to come out in Ukraine's yellow and blue and to bring signs and just really bring their voices around in support of Ukraine. And they want to drive home the message that any decisions about the country should be made by Ukraine. Lisa.
I'll take it. Destiny, thank you. Live now at 7:37. And if you're just now waking up with us here on WCNC Plus, we're live outside Sherwood Elementary School here in Gaston County. Gaston joining Lincoln Caldwell counties here. Their first day of school now officially underway. The bell rang just a few minutes ago. Students heading in even as we speak. This is just one of several districts, about a dozen in our area, that actually goes back to school earlier than state law dictates. And I spoke with the superintendent about just that issue and about why he believes it's important to do it. Gaston County for some time now has been one of the counties, Cabarrus's as well, that defies state law and starts the school calendar a few weeks early. Why in your mind is that so important?
Well, I think it's all about a balanced calendar where our students can end a semester before Christmas and begin a new semester of January when they come back. And that's important. And I have 4 children, and all of them were not able to do that. And I saw the benefits of that. So I think when you ask our teachers and you ask our students and you ask our Board of Education, that's an important factor there, is to be able to have a balanced 90 days, 90 days, 85 days, 85 days, and then have testing before Christmas break so that some of that learning isn't lost over the Christmas break, and you can end one semester before a 3-week break and start anew in January.
Have state lawmakers said anything to you or the school system?
Yeah, we talk often, and I have shared the value of that to many of them, and we continue to talk.
A great conversation we had. We talked about artificial intelligence. We talked about teacher shortages, teacher pay. Also, the new Greer Middle School has just been completed. I got a tour of that last week. That's just a few blocks from where I'm standing right now. That's a big deal here in the school district. We're going to have more of that interview coming up at the top of the hour right here on WCNC Plus. Lisa.
All right, Ben, thanks so much. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we're coming right back to tell you more about how a nonprofit is helping some young girls in our area thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Stay with us here on WC.
Live now at 7:42 right here on WCNC Plus, and we're live in Gastonia outside Sherwood Elementary School as this district goes back to class. And you know, a local organization is helping young Latina girls grow in confidence as they head back to class as well, preparing them for school and so much more. Circle de Luz is helping them with school supplies, and also not only that, but supplying them with the skills they need to take them beyond the four walls of a classroom. WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith live this morning back in studio. And Bria, how do these girls, how do they get paired with this specific nonprofit?
Well, Ben, each year, Circle de Luz chooses 8 girls in the 7th grade to support throughout high school. And during those years, they equip them with tools that will create a path toward more opportunities.
It's familiar with me because they're my people, they're from my country, and we share a lot together. So I feel welcome, and yeah, I think like this is my place, and I love being around them.
8th grader Karen Lagos' feeling is the goal. Program manager Corinne Zumbado Campbell tells me Circle de Luz strives for.
We noticed that there was a gap between the dreams and goals of young Latina students and how many Latinas were going into those fields.
The program is offered each year to 8 girls in the 7th grade in the Charlotte area.
We saw, at the middle school and high school level, so many Latina students who have big passions, big dreams for their futures, who want to become, doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers. But when we look at the data for representation in those fields, we don't see that reflected.
Karen is just one of many girls this program has positively impacted.
They really support you and help you get to know yourself better, and I feel welcome and safe and around Circle de Luz people.
Beyond mentorship and scholarship opportunities, Circle de Luz helps prepare young girls for each school year with back-to-school prep as well.
Providing those school supplies, those resources for our students and families, we've seen is really critical right before that start of the school year. We're so grateful every year. We've been really fortunate to receive donations from the community. Our families at our back-to-school event can shop as much as they want to.
Now, Circle Duluth is still accepting school supply donations, and if you want to learn more about how to become a part of the program, visit our WCNC app. Ben?
All right, great organization there, doing important work. All right, Bria, thank you. Just about 7:45 right now. Looking ahead, more free pre-K seats coming to Mecklenburg County this fall. Mech Pre-K adding 8 new centers to meet growing demand. That's possible thanks to $3.4 million in new funding from the county. Next school year, the program will offer 115 classrooms serving more than 2,000 4-year-olds. And here's the cool thing, it's at no cost to families. Leaders call it a big step toward giving every child a strong start in school and in life, which we know is so important. Charlotte Prep's new lower building opened to teachers 2 years after it was destroyed by the old building. You probably remember the story when it happened. The state-of-the-art space doubled the size and filled with natural light. Teachers moved in yesterday, preparing to welcome their students through those doors for the very first time this week.
It just is magical. When we were first moving in here, I came in before the moving company started, and I got a little emotional because we have come so far.
The $13 million facility features big classrooms, a multi-use dining hall, and views of the surrounding natural area, including nice trees. As for the fire, it remains under investigation, but foul play has been ruled out. Students start August 20th. Well, as kids head back to school this month, new research just how important that first meal of the day really is before they head out the door. Maybe you as a family are enjoying it right now, or maybe in the last hour or so. Take a look at this data. It's data from the CDC, and it shows kids nationwide eat as much as half their daily calories at school. But kids who eat breakfast daily score more than 13% higher on standardized math tests. They also show up to class more days per year than kids who don't eat breakfast, verifying what a lot of us knew, that breakfast really is the most important meal of the day, especially for young people out there. And kids, at least I know your kids are big breakfast eaters.
They are indeed. You know, I'm more of a breakfast on the go kind of person, yogurt, banana, things like that. They want the full spread, eggs, toast, waffles, bacon. And I'm like, who's here for cooking all that for you? But what are you going to do? It's good for them, right?
You know what? They deserve.
All right, Ben, we'll check back in with him a little bit later. All right, Majestic, tell us more about our forecast because it's just so thick. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, though, we need to take a quick break. Stay with us right here on WCNC Plus.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. We are waking up to another dreary start to the day. Here's another live camera shot. You can tell how cloudy it is. We've had some fog develop. We've also had scattered rain showers, isolated downpours, and boy, it is very muggy outside. Right now, there's a look at our current temperatures. We're mainly into the 60s and 70s. It's 73 degrees here in Charlotte, but it is incredibly muggy, so it's already feeling very warm, even warmer than that, and that's going to be the trend even as we're heading into the afternoon and really the next few days ahead. We're not done with the rain. The rain will continue to be very scattered in nature as we're heading into the next several hours, even into the afternoon, and really we'll be watching up towards the mountains for the possibility of seeing some flooding. The opportunity for that is a little heightened compared to the lower elevations at a medium level risk for all areas shaded in that yellow here. Tomorrow we can also see a few more downpours that could lead to very isolated flooding. So if you live in a flood prone area, be mindful of the weather forecast over the next few days. Off to class. It is the very first day of school for so many students out there in Gastonia. We do have a whole lot of cloud coverage out there right now. Most of our area across the Charlotte metro area is actually dry right now. Temperatures into the mid to upper 70s by mid-morning, and then by the time they're coming home from school, I still think that most of us will be dry across Charlotte. Temperatures, though, rising into the upper 80s, going to feel like we're back into the lower end of the 90s because of the uptick in humidity. Satellite and radar here, you can see all of that rain continuing to lift a little bit more north and east out of the area. You can still see some very heavy pockets of rain, though, well east of Charlotte. Out there towards Wadesboro, that's where the rain is really coming down quite intensely at this point. Not just that, but even some thunderstorm activity, some lightning strikes, some rumbles of thunder. Here across Charlotte, it is really just overcast. Not the most beautiful start to the day. Could have a little bit of mist or drizzle out there, but as far as that widespread rain like we saw a little earlier this morning, that's just not the scenario for us anymore. Futurecast as we're heading into the second half of the day, about 3 o'clock as we're picking up those kids from school today. This is when we could see a mix of sunshine and cloud coverage. That's also when those temperatures will increase again back into the upper 80s, but it's going to be very muggy, so feeling hotter, and that oftentimes provides fuel for storms like these to start to fire up. There's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, around dinner time or so, really impacting that area that we're concerned that we could see some flooding today. Once it hits Charlotte, kind of just rips apart, tears apart, and we'll have more cloud coverage overnight tonight and into tomorrow with some passing showers early in the day. Thursday afternoon, it gets actually a little bit sunnier. Temperatures continue to rise actually back into the 90s, and we'll kind of just do a rinse and repeat with the opportunity for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms by Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. We'll have a full check of that 7-day forecast coming up, but for now, Becca, how are the roads? Any accidents as of right now?
Still have accidents out there, but do have some good news with that as well. Right now, don't have any active incidents or accidents across major interstates or highways. 77 looking good, and also that crash being reported over towards Gaston County, 85 northbound at Main Street. That has cleared, and traffic has really started to improve, especially over towards the McAdenville area. That being said, though, it is still gridlocked. 77 northbound over towards South Charlotte, as well as a little bit slower towards the inner loop of I-45 towards Matthews Mid-Hill area. Here are all the active incidents we have across the greater Charlotte area. I want to start with the newest one on the board. This is Tryon Street near Carowinds Boulevard, just a little bit further down to the south. Still have this one, Hamilton Road at Youngblood. A little bit of yellow there indicating some delays. Also do still have this object in the road. This is being reported at the intersection of Archdale Drive at Park Road. Look at that orange. That will likely add a couple extra minutes to that morning commute. In addition, want to let you know of this over towards East Charlotte. We've got a Charlotte water installation happening. This is going to close northbound Sharon Amity Road between Pena Way and Spanish Quarter Circle. This will close 9 this morning and reopen by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. Time for today's tiny town. Between Marshville and Polkton, North Carolina, Highway 74 is Peachland, North Carolina, that was established back in 1895. By the way, the original name they wanted to use was Fruitland, but Peachland, certainly a much better name because of all the peaches grown there. It's over in Anson County, the population right at 403. Area just a little over 1 square mile. Peachland, North Carolina. Interesting, a lot of the early settlers came from the Northeast, from New Jersey in that area. So there are streets called Passaic Street, Boston Street, Park Street, New York Street, all right there in Peachland, North Carolina. Once again, over in Anson County in Peachland, North Carolina. Today's tiny town. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Driven through Peachland many times. All right, Larry, thanks so much. We are going to take a quick break, but make sure you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to have another update on your weather and traffic this morning, as well as the day's top headlines at the top of the hour.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. We are waking up to more cloudy skies out there, scattered rain showers for some, and we'll still be monitoring for some isolated downpours this afternoon and this evening. Current temperatures right now mainly into the 70s, 75 degrees in Charlotte. If you are getting those kids off to school this morning, comfortable conditions for most. It is warm. It's very muggy outside right now. A lot of the rain across the Charlotte metro area has come to an end for now. And then by the afternoon, possibly a little sunshine. That'd be nice. Upper 80-degree temperatures, and that's also when it's going to feel like we're into the lower end of the 90s because of that uptick in humidity. As we're heading into the later half of the day, if you're up there towards the mountain locations, we will be watching for isolated downpours that could lead to some localized flooding. Keep this in mind, especially if you live in a flood-prone area. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. You can still see that rain. It's all kind of sliding to the north and to the east of us. Wadesboro, you have a lot of rain coming down right now. Pretty quiet, though, across the Charlotte metro area. Getting warmer by tomorrow and should be pretty nice for the weekend. Becca.
Lots of congestion still out there, especially in the normal spots. Live look outside from 77 at Gold Hill over towards York County. Packed with traffic like sardines as drivers head inbound into Mecklenburg County. Do want to let you know that crash did clear, though, 85 northbound over towards Gaston County and McAdenville. Don't have to worry about that. Still, though, have lots of incidents out there, so allow yourself plenty of extra time as you head out the door this morning.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8 o'clock. I'm Lisa Washington. Ben Thompson not on the anchor desk this morning. He is live in Gaston County for the first day of school for the students there. And it looks like it was a pretty successful drop-off, Ben.
It was. So far, so good. Yeah, happy first day of school, not only for kids here in Gaston County, but also Lincoln and Caldwell County. Of course, we know this first day is so important for students and their families. That's including here at Sherwood Elementary School, where about 30 minutes ago, the bell inside, and now the school season officially underway for students and all. Let's go ahead, 56 schools. Let's go. Just I would look.
All right, thanks, Ben. Well, earlier, Ben had his umbrella and rain jacket, and as you can see now, he doesn't need it because a lot of areas across Charlotte are actually dry as of now, at least no rain currently falling. Maybe a little bit of mist or drizzle, but that system that pushed through last night has really tracked off to the east to us. It's really still not the most beautiful day, though. I mean, you can see how overcast it is. We have a little bit of fog that has developed, and many of our area roadways are still very wet. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. You can still see there is a lot of rain out there. It's continuing to push north and east out of our area. But if you're watching east of Charlotte, from east of Charlotte out there in Wadesboro, that's where we have very heavy rain currently coming down out there towards Troy as well. East of Albemarle, that's where we have those brief heavy downpours. And that's going to be the forecast today. Scattered rain showers, isolated downpours that could lead to localized flooding. And that is exactly what we have seen so far this morning. Right now, as we bring it back to Charlotte, not seeing much on Doppler radar. Again, just looking overcast. It feels incredibly muggy outside. A big reason for that is because the rain that we've had over the last few days and the rain that we currently have falling for some locations. Want to take you up to the mountains out there in Boone. Good morning to you, Lenore, Morganton. We do have also overcast conditions, even some pockets of heavier rain indicated in that yellow there. So be mindful of that. All again sliding off to the east. Temperatures right now into the 70s and 73 in Hickory and Statesville, 75 for Charlotte, 76 for Monroe. But really the dew points, remember, this truly measures the moisture in the atmosphere. It determines whether or not it's going to feel really sticky outside, how humid it's going to feel. When they're in the 70s, you better believe it is very muggy out there for our Wednesday morning. And once we add the humidity on top of our actual air temperatures, it's going to feel like we're back into the low to mid 90s this afternoon. Our daytime highs today right around our seasonal average, upper 80s for most of us. Low 90-degree temperatures returning today from Lancaster out towards Chester. Bus stop forecast if you sent your kids off to school today. Again, mainly just cloudy right now across Charlotte. Into the afternoon, temperatures do rise back into the upper 80s. Perhaps a little bit of sunshine, and we can't rule out a pop-up thunderstorm or a shower as we're heading into the later half of the day as well. Rain chances, they look like this. Scattered rain showers tomorrow and then becoming much more isolated as we're heading into the day on Friday. Another live camera look watching from Monroe. Area roads are very wet there, and we're actually still seeing some raindrops on the cameras. Want to take a look at visibility because we have seen some fog develop out there for some locations, but right now in Boone, it seems like visibility is rather low, much of the same as we're looking towards Chester, maybe some patchy fog if you're watching from Rock Hill. That's what I'm looking at for now. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll be back here detailing out more of the timing of the rain that we could see over the next couple of days, plus when that warming trend is going to be heading our direction. Becca.
And it's busy out there, taking you live outside on the roadways. This is Uptown I-77 at the John Belk Freeway. Of course, always busy here at this time of day. Still, though, most congested, 77 northbound coming from York, inbound into Mecklenburg County. Basically stop and go all the way down to Uptown. Also a little bit slow, 85 northbound. Here are the active incidents we've got, starting with some of the ones causing the most delays, including this one. This is South Tryon Street near Carowinds Boulevard. Look at that stretch of red. That will likely add 10 to 20 extra minutes to that morning commute. Further down to the south, Hamilton Road at Youngblood, still have that active crash there. And then taking you over towards the Cotswold neighborhood, that tree has blocked the road on Craig Avenue, both directions between Sacker Lane and Delane Avenue. Definitely an area that you'll want to avoid. Also have this disabled vehicle blocking one lane of traffic. This is on westbound Sugar Creek Road just after Eastway Drive.
Becca, thanks. Live now at 8:05 right here on WCNC Plus. We're live here in Gastonia, and here in Gaston County, it's the first day of school officially now underway in just the last 30 minutes or so. Earlier, right here on WCNC Plus, I spoke with Dr. Morgan Houchard. He's the superintendent here at the district. Take a look at what he had to say.
Sir, we are excited to get students back on campus. Teachers have been working all summer, administrative team, as well as faculty, grounds, transportation, and school nutrition. So we are excited about this day.
You told me just off camera a second ago, a lot goes into making sure this day goes off smoothly.
Yes, sir. We actually started the first day at the end of last year to work on our plans, procedures, and protocols and training, and it all builds up, of course, to this day.
We're outside Sherwood Elementary School, and this has been named an innovation school, and this is something new. Explain to me what that means.
So we last year identified 10 of our low-performing schools, and we have phrased them as innovative schools. Last year we started with leadership, and that involved training, high-quality training and development of our leaders to get the right leaders in the right place at these schools. That was year one. We're now in year two, which starts and focuses on the classroom, and it started this summer with training. We've been able to hire high-quality coaches to help develop lesson plans and strategies for this year, so that the real focus is on that teaching and learning that goes on in the classroom every day.
So what are the tangibles that students or parents might notice that are going to be different?
Right, so that focus on the instruction, that focus on the standards and student achievement in the classroom. We are trying to build this. It will be a replicable model that once we are successful in our 10 schools, we can then roll this out to other schools in the district.
Let me ask you the hard question. What barometer, what metric can parents hold you guys to as far as this being a success or not?
Yeah, so I think they will hopefully collaborate with us on the success of their students, of their children and our students, and you will see academic gains and achievement. So one of our metrics is 1 year of school to have at least 1 year of progress academically.
Last I spoke to you was about a week ago over at the new Greer Middle School, not too far away. A big day for the district because that school was, I believe, 70 years old and needed replacement as soon as possible. The result of a 2018 bond referendum. It's a big day over there at Greer as well.
Yes, sir. It is a $52 million project, two-phase project that has ended, and now today we kick it off so that our students get to officially see it and open the building for us. So it's exciting for Greer Middle School and for Gastonia.
And I think what's important, and you told me this last week, was that it has been designed for a rapidly growing Gaston County. You guys built it with the idea that it's going to need to expand.
Yes, sir. It is ready today to house 1,000 students. Very quickly and easily can expand to 1,200 students. So we are trying to build schools with the future in mind. We know there's a lot of development and a lot of folks moving to this area, and we want to be prepared for that when they come.
Yeah. Talk to me about teacher vacancies. The district doing better than it has over the last couple of years.
Yes, sir. For a little perspective, this year we start the year with right at 40 teacher vacancies. For perspective, last year we had 75, and the year before that over 100. So we are seeing that number decline, which is important. We know the value and the importance of having a high-quality teacher in the classroom with students every day. So we're seeing that number dwindle, and we will continue to work until that number is zero.
Something we've talked about a lot over the last week or so, and I talked about it with the superintendent over in Cabarrus County as well, and that's starting school earlier than what the state really would like for you to. Why does it matter to you? Granted, I could also ask that same question of lawmakers, which we have, but why does it matter to you as the leader of this school system that we start today, this Wednesday?
So it helps our students and teachers start and finish a semester before a natural break, and that's Christmas. So think of students come to school, we educate, we take half a year, they're able to test and finish this semester and then go on Christmas vacation and be gone for 2 weeks and not have to come back and worry about taking exams once removed because of the Christmas break.
What do you see as your biggest challenge as the students head back today?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is traffic, as you see it lined up around. Starting school drastically changes the traffic flow and pattern here in Gaston County, as it does in all counties. So just having folks be mindful of that, be safe and secure around our school zones because we know children are coming and going, and have patience. And then the follow-up with that would be if there are issues, we encourage folks to reach out to our schools' administrative leaders and work through those processes.
If there's some students right now rushing to get out the door as they watch this, what's your message to them?
Be safe, we're here. We welcome you. Just come on, but be safe about it.
All right, Dr. Huchard, thank you. Good to see you again. Take care. Best of luck first day of school.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
That was our Ben Thompson conversation with Dr. Morgan Huchard, the superintendent of the Gaston County Schools. We're going to have much more on back to school and what's happening with CMS coming up in just 2 minutes. Stay with us. Hey, 12 now, you're watching WCNC Plus. Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools go back in less than 2 weeks. This morning, we're hearing from families who are concerned about immigration issues as the first day approaches. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning. And Richard, last night's board meeting was pretty intense. In fact, it was even emotional.
Yeah, it was emotional and intense. Absolutely correct, Lisa. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning, everyone on the Plus. And good morning to those students returning to school all around the area, like in Gastonia. We can tell you that here in Charlotte, while there's still time before the beginning of the school year, there are people who are very concerned about ICE's involvement and what that could mean for the immigrant population. It was a tense night inside the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school meeting yesterday as parents clashed with district leaders over their concerns about immigration and customs enforcement presence near local campuses. Dozens of parents, students, and advocates filled the room. They wanted changes to the district's policy on immigration and custom enforcement agents on school campuses. The district's updated protocols now allow ICE agents to be in public areas such as lobbies, waiting areas, and parking lots. All of this without prior approval from school officials. The meeting grew heated with multiple tense exchanges, and actually you saw security escorting one woman from the chamber. Nearly a dozen speakers took to the podium, all of them voicing fears and concerns that the policy could harm immigrant families and also erode trust between students as well as educators. School board leaders stressed that safeguards remain in place, noting that ICE cannot remain on campus without proper legal documentation. Some parents still very concerned.
There are protocols that are put in place, and ICE cannot just come and set up on our campuses. What happens is if they don't have a warrant or a subpoena, they must leave our campuses.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools should not be cooperating with ICE. Schools are meant to be a safe place for students.
You guys have failed hundreds of immigrant children and their families.
ICE does not help students learn. All ICE does is sow distrust between students and adults.
How will our children be traumatized if and when they witness a teacher, a family member, or God forbid, one of their friends being taken from school by ICE.
Well, and now with this new policy or protocol in place, we will see exactly what happens. A lot of folks who were at that meeting, I'm sure other people around the community, very concerned about what happens when school starts. We're right here in Charlotte. Richard Devane, we'll send it back to you.
I imagine especially those immigrant families. All right, Richard, thanks so much for that live report. As CMS students get ready to go back to school, the district is launching a new online tool to make sure that you are ready for the first day. It's called the Top 10 Things to Know. It's a website dedicated to all the information you need to make sure your family is prepared. Some of the topics include details for online enrollment, transportation, cell phone policies, and school safety. We have all that information right now on our website and on the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. Crime alert right now in South Carolina as Lancaster police are warning about a murder suspect on the loose. Take a look at your screen. This is 56-year-old James Singleton. He's accused of shooting and killing 57-year-old Edward Townsend Monday night at Palmetto Place Apartments on Pardue Street. Police believe Singleton may be traveling by foot. They say if you see him, don't approach him. Instead, call police. New this morning, a third suspect has been arrested in connection to an East Charlotte stabbing. Jermaine Hicks is charged with murder, burglary, and federal felony conspiracies in connection to that killing. He is set to appear in court this morning at 10. Officers arrested 26-year-old Marcus Worrell earlier this week for the death of 44-year-old Jeremy Mouzon. Mouzon was found stabbed and hit by a car last week along Redwood Avenue near Sugar Creek and the Plaza. He later died at the hospital. Worrell is expected to be back in court at the end of the month. Police also charged Kwame Harriet Cox in this case. They say he broke into Mouzon's apartment before the attack. Last night, an expected vote on a new development in Waxhaw did not happen. 3 of the commissioners were missing, so no decision could be made. Now, that plan would add more than 300 apartment units across from the Waxhaw Farmers Market. Even without a vote, many of those residents voiced their concerns over the project.
We have had massive growth within the past decade. With this being said, we are destroying the landscape and history of beautiful Waxhaw. I ask, please vote against the rezoning for this project, Olivia. And lastly, N16 is already overburdened. It's the main road in and out of the town of Waxhaw. We have all our stores of necessity off of 16. If rezoning of Olivia is approved, these 315 multifamily units will have a greater mass of traffic pouring onto Providence, causing an even higher risk of accidents during daily.
Several of the commissioners who were at that meeting expressed their frustration toward those who weren't there. We followed that meeting live right here on WCNC Plus. Make sure you tell your friends and family that WCNC Plus is free to download wherever you stream. Keep it right here. We're back in just 2 minutes. 8:20 now. We've had a cooler stretch recently, but temperatures are expected to rise as the kids head back to school. And while hotter air gets our attention, it's the surge in humidity that has our meteorologists talking. So why does that sticky feeling make a summer day feel so much more uncomfortable? WCNC Charlotte meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees explains in this week's Weather IQ.
Here in the Carolinas, we know it's the heat and the humidity that makes it feel so hot during the summer. But why is it rare to see a 100-degree temperature, but not a 105-degree heat index? Let's raise your weather IQ. The simple answer is this. It takes more energy to increase the temperature if the air is moist compared to dry air. Moist or humid air contains lots of water vapor molecules, which has a high specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity refers to the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Meaning, water molecules have to absorb a lot of heat to change temperature. So when the air is moist, you're heating more mass. Dry air has way less water vapor and is largely made up of nitrogen and oxygen. That's why it's quicker and easier to heat. If you're a data person like me, water-specific heat is about 4.2 joules per gram per degree Celsius, with air's being around 1.0. So it's roughly 4 times harder to warm water vapor. Water also retains heat longer than air. Think about how quickly temperature changes, but how long it takes a body of water, like a lake or the ocean, to heat up or cool down. While water vapor absorbs energy to evaporate, it also releases energy when it condenses. This additional energy exchange also contributes to overall energy needed to heat and cool moist air. In the Carolinas, our biggest temperature swings happen during spring months when it's dry and sunny with a high sun angle. With your Weather IQ, I'm meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees. All right, and today not only will we have more heat, but we'll also have a lot more humidity. So it's going to make it feel like we are back into the low to mid 90s for a lot of us by this afternoon. Daytime highs, our actual air temperature will be into the upper 80s, but because of all the humidity out there, it's going to feel like we're at 94 degrees in Charlotte, 97 for Lancaster. Bus stop forecast today. It is that time of the year. Students heading back to class. It's been relatively active this morning, but at this point we have mainly cloudy skies, mainly dry conditions across the Charlotte metro area. And then by the time those kids are coming home from school, remember upper 80s is where we'll top off. And perhaps we could see a few stray showers or storms, but really the bulk of the system for Charlotte really was this morning. We'll be watching the mountains this afternoon specifically because that's where we could see some more localized flooding. We have a medium level risk for that, so really keeping a close eye on that. And then tomorrow, low end risk for some flooding really as we're looking at everyone as a whole. Satellite and radar across the Carolinas, a lot of cloud coverage out there and still seeing those ongoing rain showers. The heaviest rain still well east of Charlotte. You can see it right here now passing through Wadesboro. That's where heavy downpours are currently ongoing. So that's going to be one thing that we continue to watch. But really a lot of the rain is now north of Charlotte. But this afternoon across the mountain locations, make sure you're mindful that if you live in a flood prone area, those downpours could be problematic. All right, Becca, how are the area roadways as the rain has been coming down this morning?
Yeah, still a little bit slow with congestion out there towards 77 in York County, especially over towards Gold Hill Road as drivers head from York inbound into Mecklenburg County. You can see that reflected in that red there. So very slow 77 northbound all the way to Uptown. Do want to get to some of the newest crashes on the board. This one in Uptown impacting the intersection of Graham Street at 5th Street and a little bit further down to the south. This one actually did clear. Object in the road on Archdale Drive at Park Road. Don't have to worry about that, at least for that early morning commute. Do still have this disabled vehicle. This is impacting westbound Sugar Creek Road just after Eastway Drive. You can see that right-hand lane still blocked and an emergency vehicle is on the scene.
Becca, thanks so much. Taking a live look over Uptown, you heard Majesta talk about the scattered showers and the cloudy conditions. You can see, just look at this. We're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Well, good morning, everyone. Boy, those storms overnight were really loud. Many of us experienced them, especially across the Charlotte metro area. They have now tracked out of our area, now off to the east, but we are still watching for scattered rain showers and isolated downpours over the next few hours, especially up to the mountains. I do want to point out one area that we're continuing to watch very carefully. It's east of Charlotte, out there towards Wadesboro, Ansonville, right along I-73. That's where we currently have heavy downpours currently ongoing, and we're also seeing some localized flooding there with multiple lightning strikes that are currently ongoing there. Across Charlotte, we do have mainly dry conditions. It's overcast, a little drizzle or mist, not out of the question. And then I do want to show you the mountains because we have a band of rain that's continuing to push through, and we are concerned that this is where the likelihood for some isolated flooding could be. So keep up with our weather team. We'll keep you up to date today, especially if we do see any of that localized flooding. Small chances Thursday and Friday. Temperatures today rise back into the 80s by the time you're picking up those kids after school. It's going to be a cloudy day, but we could see some more storms late tonight. Becca, how are the roads?
Traffic starting to improve out there. Still a little bit busy though, especially in this spot. This is I-77 actually over towards the John Belk Freeway, and especially busy and packed with traffic 77 northbound over towards Gold Hill Road. This is likely going to add several extra minutes as you head from York inbound into Mecklenburg County. Still got lots of incidents out there, including this one over towards Uptown Graham Street at 5th.
Good morning. Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30. I'm Lisa Washington. Ben Thompson not on the anchor desk this morning. He is live in Gaston County, where the students there had their first day back to school. It looks like as if things went well throughout the morning. I know you spoke with the superintendent and really excited about the first day.
Of course, it's a big day here in Gaston County. We should say right now at 8:30, middle schools and high schools here in the county are getting underway even as we speak. Here at Sherwood Elementary School, the bell rang about an hour ago. First day of school, big here, big also in Lincoln and Caldwell counties where it's the first day of school as well. We've got more coverage coming your way here on WCNC Plus, but first let's go ahead and get check a traffic and weather as you head out the door. Majestic joins us right now, and finally, Majestic, things are calming down. When we started out this morning at 4 a.m., it was a downpour, and now it's much better.
And really, that's going to be the trend over the next few hours. A lot of that rain is tapering off, but still, as we're heading into the afternoon and this evening, especially for our mountain counties, that's what we'll be really monitoring for the possibility of those heavy downpours that could lead to some localized flooding. Overall, though, I bet it's muggy wherever you're waking up this morning. It is going to feel like we are back into the 90s today, but not because it's going to be sunny and beautiful. While we could see some sun breaks here and there, a lot of that that has to do with that humidity outside. Our air temperatures will top off into the upper 80s with that added humidity. Back into the 90s is what it will feel like. Tomorrow, more sunshine in the forecast. Afternoon thunderstorms still possible. And then if you're already making those weekend plans, finally we get sunny skies, a quiet weather pattern, but it could feel like we're back in the upper 90s and even low 100s. Here's a live camera look. Not only do we have overcast skies, but even some fog that has developed. 75 degrees right now in Charlotte, 76 out there towards Monroe. Another live camera shot coming in from Monroe. Just kind of another dreary overcast start to the day. Big school day for many students, whether they've already started school for a while now or today is their first day. Overcast and mainly dry now this morning here in Charlotte. Temperatures continuing to rise into the upper 80s by the afternoon. So by the time they're coming home from school, 3-4 o'clock, it's going to be hot and muggy, but this is also the opportunity where we could see some of that sunshine break through those thick clouds. With that, though, this is what it's going to feel like. So if you work outside in the elements, if you have to be outside for an extended amount of time, now's the time. You got to start hydrating again. It's going to feel like we're back into the 90s. 97 degrees out there towards Lancaster, 96 for Cheraw. And unfortunately, we're just getting started when it comes to those high heat index values. Our satellite and radar, you can still see a lot of the rain continuing to slowly move to the north and to the east. So with that, the bulk of the system, maybe those thunderstorms that woke you up last night, are out of our area. They have fizzled off, but still heavy downpours continuing east of Charlotte, mainly from Wadesboro, Ansonville, right along I-73. You can see it there. All of those high reflectivities really indicating that the rain's coming down so intensely that oftentimes it's kind of hard to see, especially if you're traveling. Across Charlotte, not too bad. Overcast conditions, not ruling out a little bit of drizzle or mist. Otherwise, if you are in the mountain locations, watch for that ongoing rain now. We'll also be keeping a close eye on you today because the possibility of seeing some localized flooding for you will be a little bit more elevated. I'll talk about that more coming up. But for now, Becca, how are the roads? Anything new going on at the second?
Yeah, I got a couple of incidents out there now. We do have this report, not of a disabled vehicle, actually a crash. This is on inbound Billy Graham Parkway at Boyer Street. An emergency vehicle is also on the scene there. It does look to appear to at least be blocking one lane of traffic. This is the disabled vehicle we have over towards westbound Sugar Creek Road, just after Eastway Drive, still blocking that one lane of traffic there. Still lots of red and color on the map at the 8 o'clock hour, especially 77 over towards South Charlotte, as well as 85 northbound over towards Gastonia and Huntersville, both directions on 77. Now, do have a couple of new incidents out there, but want to let you know first of this one over towards the East Charlotte area. There is going to be a Charlotte water installation. This is going to close northbound Sharon Amity Road between Pena Way and Spanish Quarter Circle. This will close 9 this morning and reopen by 4 this afternoon.
8:34 now. A rally for Ukraine is set to fill the streets of Uptown this evening, fueled by backlash to President Trump's upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning with the growing reaction and what the supporters are hoping to accomplish. Destiny.
Yeah, folks will be coming together in Uptown this evening in support of Ukraine's sovereignty and voice on the international stage. We know that organizers say this is in direct response to comments President Donald Trump has made about the ongoing conflict, as well as ahead of his upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, this meeting with Putin is happening this Friday, except for Friday in Alaska, and he suggested Ukraine could have to give up what he called prime territory to Russia as part of a peace deal. That idea has drawn pushback from Ukrainian leaders and allies who say no decisions should be made without Ukraine at the table. This won't be the first time Charlotte has rallied for the cause. Back in early March, hundreds gathered in Romare-Bearden Park after a tense Oval Office meeting between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. That rally drew signs, flags, and chants calling for more support.
Ukraine is not for sale. This is not part of the deal. We need our freedom, and we're asking people to help us fight for that freedom.
And organizers say they want folks to come out again to Romero Bearden Park at 6:30 tonight with signs and wearing Ukraine's yellow and blue. They just really want to drive home the message that any decisions about Ukraine's future should be made by Ukraine. I'll go ahead and send it to Ben live here from Uptown.
All right, Destiny, sounds good. Thanks. Live now at 8:36 here on WCNC Plus, and here in Gaston County, you've got about 30,000 students, about 1,900 teachers starting the first day of school here. And this is one of the districts we've talked about now for years that actually starts its school year earlier than what state law actually allows. I spoke to the superintendent about why he believes this benefits students most. Gaston County for some time now has been one of the counties, Cabarrus is as well, that defies state law and starts the school calendar a few weeks early. Why, in your mind, is that so important?
Well, I think it's all about a balanced calendar where our students can end a semester before Christmas and begin a new semester January when they come back. And that's important. And I have 4 children, and all of them were not able to do that. And I saw the benefits of that. So I think when you ask our teachers and you ask our students and you ask our Board of Education, that's an important factor there, is to be able to have a balanced 90 days, 90 days, 85 days, 85 days, and then have testing before Christmas break so that some of that learning isn't lost over the Christmas break, and you can end one semester before a 3-week break and start anew in January.
Have state lawmakers said anything to you or the school system?
Yeah, we talk often, and I have shared the value of that to many of them, and we continue to talk.
And we said that this district's not the only one that starts early. I spoke to the superintendent in Cabarrus County. I'll have more of my conversation with him tomorrow right here on WCNC Charlotte. And more of my interview with this superintendent, Dr. Hushard, as well. We talked about artificial intelligence. We talked about big projects in the district. The new Greer Middle School, a few blocks from where I'm standing, opens today. So we have a lot to talk about. Also, teacher shortages. That news is better than it's been actually than the past few years. You can find that all right here on WCNC Plus. Lisa.
All right, Ben, that sounds great. Well, you keep it right here because we're back in 2 minutes with more on WCNC Plus.
Live at 8:41 right here on WCNC Plus, and hundreds of local teachers and students heading back to the school this morning, even as we speak. Today, the first day of school, as we've been mentioning here in Gaston County. I'm outside Sherwood Elementary School. Caldwell County Schools, Lincoln County Schools also head back this morning as well. But what you might not know is that technically they're going back to school earlier than what the state law allows. So how do they get away with it? Let's verify. Under current state law, schools cannot start earlier than the Monday closest to August 26th, the date chosen back in 2004 to benefit the tourism industry. But there are at least 8 local school districts that go back earlier than that. So what are the consequences for violating that law? Well, we reached out to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction back in 2023, and officials say the law doesn't actually spell out a specific punishment, so the state doesn't have much power to enforce this rule or force districts to make a change. However, groups can bring lawsuits against local boards to force them to comply with that law. Now, there are a couple bills moving through Raleigh, even as we speak, that could either eliminate the rule or, if not that, allow schools to start 1 week earlier. While both bills have passed their initial votes, they're still moving through committees right now. A local organization that aims to help young Latina girls grow in confidence is also preparing them to head back to school this fall. Circle de Luz is helping them with school supplies, and not only that, supplying them with life skills that's going to take them far beyond the 4 walls of a classroom. WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith now live this morning back in studio. And Bria, how do these girls, how do they get paired with a nonprofit? Because it strikes me some might not even know about it.
That's right, Ben. Well, each year, girls in the 7th grade to support throughout high school. And during those years, they equip them with tools that will create a path toward more opportunities.
It's familiar with me because they're my people, they're from my country, and we share a lot together. So I feel welcome, and yeah, I think like this is my place, and I love being around them.
8th grader Karen Lagos' feeling is the goal. Program manager Corinne Zumbado Campbell tells me Circle de Luz strives for.
We noticed that there was a gap between the dreams and goals of young Latina students and how many Latinas were going into those fields.
The program is offered each year to 8 girls in the 7th grade in the Charlotte area.
We saw, at the middle school and high school level, so many Latina students who have big passions, big dreams for their futures, who want to become, doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers. But when we look at the data for representation in those fields, we don't see that reflected.
Karen is just one of many girls this program has positively impacted.
They really support you and help you get to know yourself better, and I feel welcome and safe and around Circle de Luz people.
Beyond mentorship and scholarship opportunities, Circle de Luz helps prepare young girls for each school year with back-to-school prep as well.
Providing those school supplies, those resources for our students and families, we've seen as really critical right before that start of the school year. We're so grateful every year. We've been really fortunate to receive donations from the community. Our families at our back-to-school event can shop as much as they want to.
And Circle de Luz is still accepting school supply donations. And if you want to learn more about how to become a part of the program, visit our WCNC app. Back to you, Ben.
All right. Thanks, Bria. We'll keep it right here because we are back in 2 minutes with more on WCNC Plus. Becca. All right, 8:47 now. You are streaming live on WCNC Plus, and there you can see on Interstate 77, I believe, a little problem there with a car that stalled. We're going to check in with Becca momentarily to find out more about the morning commute and some delays that might slow you down this morning. Of course, as we watch for more spotty showers today, it may feel like this rain just will never stop. Over the past weeks, we've seen our fair share of summer storms. But how do we compare to other cities when it comes to the rainfall? WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies for us this morning.
When you think of the rainiest city, what comes to mind? If you're like me, you probably thought Seattle. It has a reputation for being the rainy city. But with all the recent storms we've seen, this question comes to mind. Does Charlotte get more rainfall than Seattle? To verify, we went to WCNC Charlotte meteorologist Becca Birdsall and the National Weather Service.
We have seen over double the amount of rainfall that Seattle has seen so far this year.
According to the National Weather Service, Charlotte has picked up over 26 inches of rainfall this year, while Seattle has picked up around 14 inches.
Seattle sees more rainy days. When it's cloudy, it's misty and drizzly. That's basically just the geography and terrain of the Pacific Northwest. While here, we see less rainy days, but typically it's more intense rainfall.
Becca says Charlotte sees an average of 43 inches of rain per year, while Seattle sees an average of 37 to 39 inches.
We typically get in on some of those heaviest downpours during the spring and summer season, kind of when we see pop-up showers and thunderstorms, a little bit more than what Seattle typically sees.
So we can verify that yes, Charlotte does get more rain than Seattle, but Seattle tends to have more rainy days. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
You can just email us at verify@wcnc.com. And that's the thing. I mean, when you hear we get more rain than Seattle, it's like, what? Seattle is the rainy city, but it's, once you hear it like that broken down, then you understand.
Yeah, and I do want to put in perspective, Seattle's having a dry year this year. They are about 6 inches below normal, so while we are about double the amount of rainfall than them this year, that is also plays a part in it as well.
Okay.
And I have a lot of family over there.
I was going to say,
I
that's
grew
you,
up in Washington.
PNW, yes.
And my family's been bragging about the summer forecast because it's so perfect for them, sunny and nice,
so nice.
And everything that we want. But instead, we have been having more weather like them. And it's interesting because, like, when you're in Seattle, it's very misty, it's very drizzly. It seems like it rains every single day, but small amounts. And it wasn't until I moved to the south that I saw heavy downpours and how much rain you can receive in such a small amount of time.
Yes.
Because you just don't get that up there. I mean, even thunderstorms, they are weak. Like, once you move to the south, it's a whole different experience with this weather pattern here.
That's so interesting. Having lived in the southeast for so long, I guess I never thought about our storms being stronger than in other areas.
Just, it's so weird how much rain. I remember the first time it rained, I was like, Mom, it seems like I was going through a car wash because the rain was coming down so heavily. But I know we're ready for sunshine.
I mean, I think we're due for the sunshine.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of cloudy days.
I am over it, but I do think we will have some light, some sunshine heading our direction. Those storms last night, boy, they were powerful. You know, the kind that just brings so much rain in a relatively short amount of time. That's what we had. Maybe they woke you up. They woke up the kids, maybe the dogs. They were loud. We had a whole lot of lightning strikes with them as well. And really, it is now tracking to the east of us. Now, overall, we still have very overcast conditions. We still have a little mist and drizzle out there, but this is really the watch spot right now. Actually, the National Weather Service issuing a flash flood warning for this area that I've been talking about for a while now because the rain's coming down so intensely and it's moving rather slowly. I think that plays a big part in this. Now moving east of Wadesboro and Ansonville, now right along I-77 out towards Rockingham. This is where it is. So this means there's currently flooding that's ongoing, ponding across the area roadways. This is when we could see fast rises in rivers, streams, creeks, especially if you live in a flood-prone area. This needs to be top of mind. Now, the good news with this is that it's continuing to track east out of our viewing area. So just a little bit of us are getting impacted by this, but this is really packing a punch. They have this issued until noon. So very slow moving cells right here that are just producing a whole lot of rain. Meanwhile, back home here in Charlotte, I mean, it's just overcast. It's a very dreary start to the day now. Little bit of light sprinkles popping up here and there, but most of us at this point, we don't have heavy rain falling at all, actually. And then as we head up towards the mountains, this is where we have some widespread rain continuing to move through, moderate at times too. So yes, if you are heading out the door, you have someplace to be, keep this in mind because some of those roads could be a bit slick because we are looking at wet road conditions, but also that ponding where if you're going too fast, it's very easy to hydroplane. Across the mountains and the foothills today, you have a medium level risk for some flooding. We'll keep a close eye on you because your rain today, it's going to be a little bit more steady, and that's where we could see more of those heavy downpours. This is our futurecast. We could see a little bit of clearing by the afternoon. I don't think the rain is not lasting all day long. A lot of us aren't even seeing it anymore. Notice here's 3 by the time we're picking up those kids. Maybe you're heading home from work. Some models are indicating that some of those clouds may taper off just a bit, and then those temperatures crank up, upper 80s, but it's going to feel like we're back in the 90s because it's incredibly muggy out there, high humidity, and that oftentimes will provide fuel for these thunderstorms. Here's 6 o'clock from Shelby, Lincolnton, Hickory out towards Statesville. We'll have an eye on you, and that's the same area where we do have a heightened risk for seeing some of that localized flooding today. Once it hits the Charlotte area, it really breaks apart, so hopefully we don't get that if you have any plans for your overnight or your later evening hours tonight. As we're heading into our Thursday, some more passing showers early in the day and then those afternoon thunderstorms, but more sunshine potential. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll break down that full 7-day forecast as sunny skies and 90-degree temperatures are ahead. Becca, how are the roads right now?
All right, do have an update on that stalled vehicle out on I-77 northbound at Tybola Road. Now, just about a minute ago, that city crew that you see right on the shoulder there, that had moved that stalled vehicle now onto the shoulder. So now the update is all lanes of traffic are back open, but you can imagine what that's done to traffic. Pretty much northbound 77 from Tybola all the way down into I-485. It is stop and go traffic. It's something that should improve likely within the next 5-10 minutes. Still have that disabled vehicle out over towards westbound Sugar Creek. This is just after Eastway Drive, blocking 1 lane of traffic, and still have several incidents out there as rush hour traffic starts to come to an end. This one over towards Haverhill Drive at Blackthorn Lane, causing a few minor delays as well. Drive times, Matthews to Uptown will take about 26 minutes, Salisbury on 85, 51, Waxhaw 39, and Belmont 24 minutes.
All right, Becca, thanks so much. Well, we need to take another quick break, but make sure you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to have another update on weather and traffic, and then at 9 o'clock, our Nick Sturtevant is going to take over in our live Impact News studio. He'll have all of the breaking news events as they happen from across our area and the nation, and you'll hear more in Ben Thompson's interview with the superintendent of the Gaston County schools. Again, Gaston County, Lincoln County, Caldwell County schools all going back to school today ahead of what the state allows. That's all coming up on WCNC Plus.
Well, good morning, everyone. We had some powerful storms move across Charlotte overnight. Now everything is slowly tracking to the north and to the east. Do want to show you one area that we're keeping a close eye on because we're seeing significant downpours. National Weather Service issuing this flash flood warning. It's mainly for northern Richmond County, continuing to head outside of our viewing area. But this is where the rain is coming down very intensely from Rockingham to Asheboro, right along I-73 there. Heading east out of our area right now, most of us are very overcast, a little bit of drizzle and mist here in Charlotte, but some rain showers across the mountains. Stay close to our weather team as we will be watching for some localized flooding this afternoon. Becca.
Rush hour traffic has not let up out there. Live look outside from a slow 77 at Tyvola Road. That is all due to a stalled vehicle that was previously blocking one lane of traffic. Now has moved to the shoulder. All lanes are open, but still damage is done. It is stop and go from Tyvola all the way down to Arrowwood, I-45, I should say. Also disabled vehicle westbound Sugar Creek Road after Eastway Drive.